asking for what the pattern is and then what the next two terms are. So what's the pattern in the first one? Yep, adding 3. And then so what would the next two terms be? 17 and 20. All right, what's the pattern in the next one? Times 2. And the next two terms? 40, 80. Next one? Plus 4. So the next one's be 1 and 5. Next one? Times -2. So the next ones would be, yep, and then the last one?
It's divided
Divided by 2, or how else could I say that? Multiplied by 1/2, yep. And then what the next two terms be? 12.5. Yep. So for this unit, it's just over 2 sections, 2 different types of sequences that we're going to be going over. The first one being arithmetic sequences. So your objective is students will be able to identify and extend patterns and sequences. All right, so 2 types. So today we're doing arithmetic sequences, and those are the specific sequences where the pattern is addition and subtraction. So like in the warm-up, this first one would be arithmetic, and this third one, because it's using addition or subtraction for the pattern, okay? They have what's called a common difference. That's kind of like your slope. It's what you're adding or subtracting each time. And then this is just like formatting stuff. So like A of 1, A of 2, A of 3, that's the term number. So like what number it is in the list. There are 2 types of formulas for arithmetic sequences. There's recursive and explicit. The way that they're designed is that the recursive formula is based on what's happening to the previous term. So that means that we have to know every term. So if I want the 99th term, it basically tells me, this formula says, okay, take the 98th term and do this to it. So it requires that we know every term because we have to know the term that comes right before it in order to get what we want. So this one's not super useful, so we don't really use this one. So know that it exists, but we're not going to use it, okay? The explicit formula is based on the term number, and that just requires we know the first term and the common difference. So we just need to know what number comes first and what the pattern is, and then we can find whatever term we want. So that is the one that we're going to be using, okay? So you're going to plug in 2 things to this. You're going to plug in something for right here, A of 1, that's your first term. And then you're going to be plugging something in for D, that's your common difference. This is supposed to be -1. Okay? So we're going to do 3 types of problems, 3 things. First, we're just going to identify which ones are arithmetic and which ones aren't. And then we're going to write the formula, and then we're going to use the formula to find. Okay? A specific term. So for problem 1, decide if the sequence is arithmetic. If so, what's the common difference? So for this one, you're looking to see if it has a constant add or subtract pattern. So what am I adding to go from 3 to 8?
5.
So plus 5, plus 5, plus 5. So this would be arithmetic. And your common difference, which is D, would equal 5. Positive if you're adding, negative if you're subtracting. Okay? Then for this one, from 6 to 9, what am I doing? Plus 3, and then 9 to 13? Yeah, so this would not be arithmetic. Do you guys do the goddess? All right, what about this first one? Is it or is it not?
Not.
Not? I guess so. Okay, what about this one? Yes? What is the common difference?
2.
All right, what about the third one? Okay, someone get that. What's D equal? -6, yep. Can someone open the door, please? Thank you. And what about the last one? Yeah.
-1. Wait,
Because it's -4 plus 4 minus 4 plus 4. It's multiplication, but you can't use multiplication for arithmetic sequences.
Oh.
Okay, good so far? Okay, so next what we're going to do is we're going to write the formula for arithmetic sequences, and the reason why we're writing the formula is that the formula is going to allow us to find any term without having to like do the pattern over and over and over until we get to whatever term we're trying to get to, okay? So our formula is A of n equals A of 1, you're going to plug in something for, that's your first term, plus n minus 1 times d, which is your common difference. And then, actually, let's go back to the beginning of these notes right here, the front page. At the bottom, I want to make a little note. Simplified form is basically in y equals mx plus b form, but it's going to be like a of n equals dn plus b. So like mx plus b, but just different letters, okay? But we're going to simplify it to where it's in like that linear form, okay? All right. So let's look at our sequence. What is my first term? Yeah, -5. And then what's my common difference? So we're adding 3, so it's going to be a +3. So plug those in. A of n equals -5 plus n minus 1 times your common difference of 3. And then we're going to simplify it. So we're going to distribute first and then combine like terms and then you're done. So a of n equals -5. What's 3 times n? So plus 3n. 3 times -1? -3. And then combine like terms, so combine -5 with -3. So we have 3n minus 8. So now that formula is going to allow us to find whatever term number we need to find. So if we need to find the 411th number in that list, we'll be able to find it. Yeah.
Are we gonna like graph it like that
Mm-mm.
too?
No.
Okay.
All right. Next one.
Why can't we just do it like just find the number?
So you want to add 411 times? Yeah. Good.
Is it going to come down to that?
It might. So the idea is just teach you guys how to like make a formula so that you are able to find a term if you need to. So that's what we're gonna do. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. So we're gonna plug it in. That's how we're gonna find it. Yeah. So what's my first term of this one? 6. And then common difference. -2.
So say that with this, say that you want to do it 411 times.
Mhm.
Can't you just multiply 411 by -2?
So that's ultimately what we're gonna end up doing with this formula. We're gonna multiply by the common difference, and then that's gonna tell us what we have to adjust it. Okay, and then simplify. What's -2 times n? -2 times -1. And combine like terms. So -2n plus 8. The term number. So like what number it is in the list. So like this would be a of 1, a of 2, a of 3, a of 4. Yeah, n equals 1, n equals 2, yeah. All right, you guys go ahead and do the next ones. So find the formulas, and then we're going to practice using the formula. Okay, so for this first one, what's my first term? 7. And common difference is -3. So a of n equals 7 plus n minus 1 times -3. A of n equals 7 minus 3n plus 3. So what you should have for your formula is a of n equals -3n plus 10.
So do you add the two at the the -3 plus 7?
So you combine this plus 3 and this plus 7.
Why
On the
would it
ends.
be a plus 3 though?
'Cause it's a negative times a negative.
-3. So you times the two together?
You're distributing the -3.
Okay.
Even though it's like at the back, it's still being multiplied in.
How would you check your answer?
You could just like maybe plug in like 3 or something, and then to make sure that matches up with the third term. Yeah, right there. Yeah, and then you combine that with the 7 that you already have. Yeah. Good?
Oh, could I do this?
All right, first term on this one is what?
Or -10.
-10. And then common difference. A of n equals -10 plus n minus 1 times your common difference of 10. So A of n equals -10 plus 10n minus 10. And then when you combine like terms, you get 10n what? Minus 20. Yep. Any questions on that? Okay, so now we're going to use the formula. So we're going to write the formula, and then once we have it, it's going to give us a specific term number it wants us to find, and we're going to find that. Okay? All right, so it says write the explicit formula, then use the formula to find the 8th term of the sequence. So what's my first term on here? 70, and my common difference? 7, so let's write the formula. A of n equals 70 plus n minus 1 times 7. Distribute. So 70 plus 7n minus 7. My formula is going to be 7n plus 63. And it's asking us to find the 8th term. So now the way you're going to use that formula to find the 8th term is you are just going to plug in 8 to your equation. So my 8th term is 119. Is that right?
Yes.
119, okay. So what that means is if I were to extend this pattern out and keep doing the add 7, add 7, add 7, the 8th number in that list would be 119. Okay? All right, for this one, what's my first term? 3. And my common difference? 6. N equals 3 plus n minus 1 times 6. 3 plus 6n minus 6. So for your formula, you should get 6n minus 3. And it still wants us to find the 8th term. So plug in 8. So what's my eighth term? 45. Got it? You guys do the got it's? Okay. For the first one, what's my first term? 23, and then what's my common difference? 12. So a of n equals 23 plus n minus 1 times 12. And then when you distribute, you get 23 plus 12n minus 12. So your formula is 12n plus 11. And then it's asking us to find what term? Eighth term still? Alright. So when I plug in 8, what do we get? 107? Alright. The next one, what's my first term? 97, and common difference? 9. That's going to be negative 9n and a positive 9. So your formula should be a of n equals negative 9n plus 106. And then what did we get for the eighth term? 34? Great. All right, any questions? Yes.
Where's the 104? How do you get the 104? And 106, sorry. 106.
What?
On the,
You get
top.
the,
Oh, 97 and 9. Think ahead. Right, it's pretty straightforward. And then you just have geometric sequences, which are the ones where you're multiplying and dividing. And then then we're done. All right, there is your lesson check. So on the first one, you're just saying yes or no if it's arithmetic, and if it is yes, then say what d equals. Second one, write the formula, and then the third one, you're going to use whatever formula you get on number 2 to find the 23rd. Okay? How did you finish this? Or are you done with it? Yeah, we'll just put it on my desk. I'm gonna do that. Is anybody not taking a test and wants to run to the office for me real quick? What you're saying? Okay. Wait, come here. She'll give it to you. She knows about it. It's just like a organized trying
I
to
think I need to be attendance office.
Yeah, enjoy. Thank you. And then we come grab your packet too. Yeah, come grab your packet real quick and I'll sign that. And then just 5-4, the only thing you need to do is to add work to the more practice one for that one. And then I don't resign your. Can you hand that to Alyssa? Thank you. Alright guys, your answers. The first one is arithmetic. And D equals 8. The second one's not arithmetic. Number 2 is a n equals negative 2n plus 11. And then a of 23 equals negative 35.